Hello, welcome to this session on continuity and differentiability. I am Rahul from MySlate. And if you remember, in the previous session, we discussed the topic of continuity. And in this particular session, we will move on and look at the concept of derivative, how to find derivative of function, and look at this graph of a function that is shown here. And let us say that we are interested in finding the derivative of this function at this point x equal to e, that is shown here. Okay. Now, the derivative is defined as the instantaneous change in the value of a function per unit change in x. Okay. And what do we mean by instantaneous change? So, what we mean is that when x changes infinitesimally around e, right, infinitesimally implies very small change in x, then what is the small change in f per unit change in x at that point e, right? That is how we define the derivative, right? So it is a limit of this quotient delta fx by delta x, right? So the rate of change in x f per unit rate of change in x while we are at x equal to e, and the limit of that as the delta x approaches 0, that is, we are talking of very small change in x, and that is nothing but the slope of this tangent that we would draw on this curve at point x equal to e. So this boils down to finding the slope of the tangent. So how do we do that? So one way to do that is, and that's how we'll understand this definition, is to take two distinct points, let's say a and b, on either side of e, and let's assume that they are equidistant from e, and let's try to find the slope of this secant that we have drawn here, right? So this secant connects the points a and b, and a is the point on the curve. It represents the value that the function takes at x equal to small a, and capital B represents the point on the curve, and that is the value that the function takes, this value s here, when x equals b. And let us look at what is this delta f by delta x as x changes from a to b, right? And that is nothing but the slope of this secant, right? So delta f is s minus r, right? That is the difference in the value that the function takes at point b and point a, and divide that by this increment, this delta on the x axis, which is b minus a, right? So this would be called the average change in the value of f with respect to x when x changes from a to b. Why average? Because b minus a is a distinct finite increment along the x axis, and we are measuring the change in the value of f per unit change in x. So in that sense, it is the average. Now, the slope of this secant AB, does that approximate the slope of the tangent to the curve at E, at point E? Well, maybe or maybe not. That depends on the exact shape this function takes at around point x equal to E. So, a better estimate of this slope of this tangent at x equal to E would be if we take the points on the left and to the right of E, which are closer to E. So let us kind of move closer to E. So from A we look at this point C now, and from B we move leftwards towards E and look at this point D, right? So instead of A to B, look at the increment on the x-axis from C to D, right? So here we have come closer to the point E, and we are looking at these points capital C and capital D now on the curve. And those are the values that the function takes at C and D. Those are the values t and u here. And if we look at this delta f by delta x as x changes from d to c, we would come to this another coefficient, which is u minus t by d minus c. That is the difference on the y axis and divided by difference on the x axis. That would be the slope of this secant CD, right? And that would be the average change in f with respect to x when x changes from C to D, right? So by this logic, you keep coming closer to the point x equal to E. That is, you keep narrowing this interval, right? Move further close to this point x equal to E, and keep finding the slope of these secants that you get on this graph. And as you come closer and closer to the extent that delta x tends to 0, around x equal to e. So think of a very small interval around x equal to e, such that we can say that this delta x tends to 0, this delta x tends to 0, then the slope of the secant that we would see would approach the slope of this tangent here that we have drawn at the point x equal to e. So this is the slope of the tangent, and this is how we define the derivative of a function. So mathematically we express it like this. So look at this definition here. So think of a point e plus h by 2. This is a point slightly to the right of x equal to e. So it could represent this point here. And think of a point slightly to the left of e, that is e minus h by 2. This could be the point here. So the gap here between these 2 points is delta x, which would be h, right? Because we are h by 2 on either side of e. So the total increment is h that we are talking about, right? So what would be the rate of change of f with respect to the rate of change of x? That would be delta f divided by h. H is delta x here, and take the limit of that as h tends to 0. So this is how we have defined the slope of this tangent at x equal to e, which is the derivative of f with respect to x at this point x equal to e. And instead of, since this interval delta x equal to h tends to 0, it is infinitesimally small. So instead of going from the left hand side to the right hand side, you could actually think of an equally small interval and move from right from point E rightwards to point E plus h. So since h is very small, it tends to 0, so it doesn't really matter whether we move from E minus h by 2 to E plus h by 2, or whether we move from E to E plus h, right? It should give the same estimate since h tends to 0, right? So probably a simpler way of writing that is this, right? This is nothing but the value of f at E plus h minus the value of f at E divided by h, and the limit of that as h tends to 0. And this is what is defined as df by dx. This is how it is written at x equal to e. This is how the derivative of the function at with respect to x at a particular value x equal to e is written. And in this symbol df by dx, it automatically implies that we are talking of a very small increment on the x-axis around the point e, so that increment tends to 0. And as we have already said, this is nothing but the slope of the tangent.